Welcome to the Truth Be Told podcast, the very first episode. I am thrilled. I am so excited to launch this podcast and do this intro video, this introduction video into getting to know me and what to expect in this podcast. So I am so thrilled. My name is Amber Hughes Ingram. Well, to be technical, Amber Lee Hughes Ingram, because I'm keeping my whole name. And I've decided to keep it. And I am just excited. I'm so excited. This is my first time ever doing this. I'm very new and I am learning all the mechanics, everything. So bear with me as I do that. But I can't wait to see how this goes. So this video I really just wanted to do to talk a little bit about who I am and what you can expect, and some things that I have on my heart and some ideas of how I plan to lay all this out and my hopes and my dreams for this. And so I hope you bear with me. This video is going to be kind of short, and then we will excitedly wait to release the next episode. I'm so thrilled about that. The second episode and what I have as a great discussion, I believe, and what is a very important discussion. And I can't wait to release that episode too. So, like I said, my name is Amber and I am 24 years old. I am married to an incredible guy named Cameron Ingram, and I have a wonderful, incredible, miracle baby boy named Nolan Ryan, and he is just, I'm so in love with him. I'm in love with Cameron, and I'm just over excited that I get to do life with them, that the Lord has chose me to be Nolan's mama, and he has just changed my world drastically. There we go. Through Nolan's life, and changed my life so much, and just continues to bless me and teach me and mold me through being Nolan's mama, and Cameron's wife. Being a wife also molds you and sanctifies you just as much as being a mama, but it stretches you and it teaches you so much, and just love getting to see that through the lens of the Lord, and excited to continue doing life and seeing how all that plays out. And hopefully getting to continue this and bring y'all along to snippets of that. So a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Alabama, the sweet home Alabama. I love Alabama. Ain't nothing like it to me. I think Alabama is an incredible state. I think it's full of the beauty of the Lord and that good old southern drawl. And I think God is perfect because God placed me here, and He saw me fit to be born into my beautiful parents' life. I have a wonderful mama and daddy who I consider to be high school sweethearts. My daddy is a little older than my mama, but she was in high school when they met, and daddy was a little older. He was a little older than her, but they were high school sweethearts, and they fell in love, and they had me. I'm their oldest, and they are wonderful people. I'm very thankful for them, and I honor them for all that they've been in my life and do. And I wouldn't be who I am or where I'm at without them, and I am so thankful for them. I get teared up talking about them, but I have a wonderful brother who is stuck in the middle between me and my sister. And my sister, she is an incredible little girl, and my brother, he is a great young man. And I'm honored to be their sister, and they teach me more than I think I teach them at times. So it is just great to get to be a part of this family. I've been very fortunate to have such a wonderful family. And my husband's family, they are incredible. I love being a part of their family too, and they've accepted me like I'm their own, and I so greatly appreciate them. And we have an incredible church family here in at our hometown, and I love my church family. They're just like blood to me. And they have been my home church since I was 13 years old, and I'm so thankful that I stumbled upon them. They have been with me in the hardest times of my life, and lifted me up and held on to me when I needed it the most, and I've made wonderful friends through that, and more like family through that. I keep those people very close to me, and so with all of that being said, I when I was about 17 years old, I had a pretty serious experience in my life that I was not really prepared for, nor did I see coming. And I fell to a lot of things in my life, and what I would consider Satan playing on some of my insecurities, and also playing on some things that were a little sensitive in my heart, and my desires. And it caused me to fall into a very dark pit, and I ran from God, and I ran from my family. I Because I knew I was spiraling because of this event that took place. Um, I had rushed to let act like, just basically begging my parents to let me move out, and they agreed to it because I was a very responsible, um, in the most part, for like taking care of myself. And I had a job. I was homeschooling because after the seventh grade, I homeschooled, and I had was working, and I was going to move in with a friend of mine that was in college, and we became roommates. And my parents didn't really know at this time that I was really hiding something terrible that happened to me. I know my dad noticed and my mom noticed that things were changing, like I was changing. And over time, I believe they could tell that something was wrong, but they just didn't know exactly what it was. And so as time went on, that did get revealed. But it kind of sent me into this 4 years of wandering, and in bad places, and um, doing a lot of sinful things that I shouldn't have done, and out of pain, and out of just feeling like all hope was lost for me, that my life had been ruined, and just really can look back at that time in my life and see how much God was with me, still His mercy and His grace. And I'm very sure that a lot of prayers were going up for me from family. And I wound up in this 4 years becoming pregnant with my son's biological father. And um, we had a kind of a rocky relationship. He had came from a totally different world, and therefore handled things a lot different than I did, and had some, from my perspective and what I understand from people who've taught me, had some toxic ways of trying to express his feelings, or communicate, and he wasn't really good at it. We were younger than I am now because I'm still young. um, but he and I, it just was a very rough relationship. And out of his, way of handling things and stuff, it really hurt and wounded me. And me thinking I'm doing things to help, it really wasn't helping. It was um, just hurting more and more, myself. And it was just not working out very well. So I found out I was pregnant, and at 20 weeks, when 2 days before the gender reveal, um, when I had left twice during my pregnancy to move back in with my parents, and they, like I said, they are incredible, taking me back in and loving me like they do, and they were always there, no questions asked. When I needed to come back, there was no, well, no, it was yes, come home. And gosh, I've seen the love of God in that, and when I didn't deserve it. I wasn't very great to my parents at all times in these situations, and um, it was hard on them. I can only imagine. And so I go by myself. This is also during COVID, um, to my 20 week appointment and to find out the gender. I'm not thinking anything could ever, this stuff doesn't cross your mind. Obviously, you're nervous. I mean, I was because my first pregnancy, and I was worried. Like, I did have worries of not wanting to lose the baby, and I hope everything's okay because I also wasn't in good health at this time, because of not living right and doing things I probably shouldn't have been doing. Well, I know I shouldn't have been doing, and wasn't great for my body, and I wasn't eating like I should or taking vitamins like I should. I just, how you feel on the inside does really manifest out on the outside, and I wasn't treating myself very well. And so, um, at this appointment, we hear the heartbeat, so I knew he was alive, but the tech, she was like, I gotta go to the doctor. And the way she was acting, like she just left me there. She goes to get the doctor, come back. Come to find out, that day they also send me to a specialist in Montgomery, and they tell me that Nolan had a rare condition called Ludo, which means that he had a blockage that was causing his bladder was like huge, and it was causing the urine to back up into the kidneys, and the kidneys were bright on the ultrasound, which meant they had damage. And so it had created kidney disease in him. And it, we at the time you can only know so much from an ultrasound of what the baby is actually experiencing. And that was the obvious problem and the problem that we needed to attack because he wasn't being able to pee out amniotic fluid and his amniotic fluid was low. So there is a specialist and a special thing that has to be done in this case, which would mean he needed a shunt placement surgery to save his life because that would put a tube inserted in his body through me. They would go in my belly and do that while he was still in the womb and place shunts, and it would drain it out so he could drink that to develop lungs because that was our biggest concern. It was if he would be able to have enough time to develop lungs because it was a crucial period in his development in that part of my pregnancy that he had that amniotic fluid because it's when he needed to start developing lungs because he was going to start not depending on me for oxygen. Well, I mean, he would be, but he'd be depending on me, but he in the development stages while I was pregnant, it was a very crucial time. And so wound up, we were the first place wouldn't take my insurance. So we were panicking, because it's like, well, what are we going to do? And they wanted me to pay out of pocket. We were just, I remember just being so scared that we weren't going to be able to find, because we couldn't afford that. And, I know that we would have done everything to try to find a way to, because I'm a full believer in fighting for life. And, no matter the circumstance. And when, we finally found Texas. Houston, Texas would take my insurance, and we got over there the first time my mama went with me, and we got our miracle. I fully believe in the miracles of God. I believe that is meant for today. That the power of Jesus Christ can heal, and I believe that it did, and it is continuing to. And so that's what I've stood on this whole time in Nolan's life is that he's going to be completely healed. And, in the science world and in the medical world, from what doctors see and what tests show us and stuff like that, I'm not denying these results, what the physical eye is seeing through this, which is that, with kidney disease, in the medical world, there is no cure other than to have a transplant. Those kidneys cannot be treated that are damaged. You can manage it, the what they're doing, but and then there's dialysis to get you to a transplant. But there's no repairing the damaged kidneys other than to replace them. And so I believe that the Lord is powerful, and I believe that he can heal my son completely of that. I believe that he can completely restore Nolan's kidneys that he was born with, and without dialysis and without a transplant. And that is what I believe for. And if it comes to we have to do a different way, then I will. I'm seeking the Lord on that. And but I pray His will to be done, and His will is for Nolan to be completely healed. That's why his son Jesus came, not just to save us. That's the main reason, that we would be able to go to heaven and redeem us from sin, save us if we choose him and believe in him. But also at the whipping post, he took a beating for disease, for sickness, for healing. That was for our physical body healing. And um, his will is divine health, abundant life. He came so that we may have abundant life, and that includes complete healing, complete health, divine health, um, wholeness. He is a God of wholeness, not brokenness, nothing missing, um, but everything complete and whole through him, because of him. And he made no mistakes. When he created us, he said it was good, and he made a perfect creation, and Satan attacks that. Okay. Sicknesses and diseases does not come from God. It comes from Satan and a real enemy, and also at times from us not doing our part. We do play a part in this. And so in this case, this is just an attack from the enemy. And in Nolan's almost 3 years, tomorrow's his birthday. And so in his 3 years, he's about to be 3 years old tomorrow. We have seen the miracles of God. Nolan has not been put on dialysis yet. He is still functioning with his own kidneys. We are managing him. You would never know. I mean, other than the feeding tube, because he is 22 hours depending on that. And there's other medical things. Once he was born, we realized he had Prader-Willi syndrome. He had left hip dysplasia. He had a grade 1 lower front lobe brain bleed that healed on its own. He was born with extra holes in his heart that healed up on his own. He was born with lungs. That is a huge miracle, because we had the surgeries, and there's so much in this story for me not to be able to unpack it right now. But throughout my time on this podcast, I do plan to unpack it, and as I feel fit. To what we talk about and things, to share our testimony of what we've already went through, and as we're still journeying through what God does, But God has been faithful, and He has never left us, and He is wonderful, and He's merciful, and He is true to His commandments, and what He promised us. He's true to all that. I mean, He's true to His word, and it is it's a beautiful experience to see God in that way, to experience the mercy and grace and love of God and who He is, because that's who He is. He's just love, and He is those things. He's the light of the world, and it has been an incredible journey. And leading up to that, in my time, I was serving in church. I grew up in church. So I have always been familiar with the Word of God, not in the way that I am now, as my time and experience has drawn me closer. And I've done my own, studying and stuff. And I'm also in school right now, learning Bible school, learning more about this. And so, um, as I go on and learn more about Jewish culture, stuff like this, obviously my knowledge of Him and His Word and my understanding evolve, and grow, and it's just, the ride is amazing. And so the way, even after we came home, my parents took me in still after me and Nolan got to come back from Texas, and becoming a single mom through all this. Like I said, there's so many pieces to this story, but in those months of being single and everything, how the Lord brought me my husband, and how Cameron has just so willingly took on me and a medically challenged baby, and he's loved us well, and he's been here, and he's been so supportive, and I really thank God for what He's done in that. But I am a Jesus lover. I love music. I love art. I love flowers, as you can tell. This backdrop is incredible. I love this so much, and I thought it was just perfect for the podcast. And I'm learning about the Lotties and stuff. Like I said, gonna get better with the lighting and all these things. But I just want to say, I'm really excited to pursue this because there's so many things that I can't wait to just get in talking about, and biblical things. But really, to me, this podcast is just a conversation. I want to have a conversation about things that, in a way, I feel like some of these things I want to talk about are not talked about enough, or they're misunderstood, and, or revelations that, and I just invite the Lord along with this because I just want the Holy Spirit to use this, and Jesus and God to just use all of this, and to bless people, to help people, and wherever anyone is at in this time of their life, that I hope that they can find hope, and strength throughout this podcast, share my testimony and my son's testimony, and just the things that God's doing. But not just that, we dive into His Word and talk about these things. I really hope that it blesses others and it encourages them and it helps them. It helps them grow. And each podcast, I plan to leave that episode asking you a question. I think that is a great way to leave it off. And my questions, when I leave a question, I hope that you feel free to comment your answers or get in touch with me somehow. If you know me or don't know me, comment if you don't. And just comment your answer. I want to invite y'all into this conversation. I want to hear your answers, and I want to also hear if you have a question yourself, or how you felt about what we talked about. And you know I am so excited, and if you are listening to this, I'm thankful that you decided to come along and be a part of this. And thank you for your time, because I really do respect your time to stop by and listen in this world that is busy and full. So I pray the Lord blesses this, and I pray the Lord blesses you and keeps you every day of your life. I hope you walk in blessings and favor, and draw more and more closer to Him. And as you seek Him, you find Him, and He draws more and more closer to you. And so, with that being said, that is who I am, Amber Hughes Ingram, a mama, a wife, and a lover of the Lord. I love Him. I love Him so much. And I am a daughter. I'm a sister. And I am just a regular, ordinary human being that loves the Lord and wants to take this platform to honor Him and display what He's doing, and to have a conversation with all of you. And I hope that it blesses you. So thank you for coming along to our introduction to the Truth Be Told podcast. I'm so excited. I'm going to be getting that next episode out pretty soon. And on that will be the episode where I start to ask questions. Where at the end of that episode, I will ask y'all a question, and I hope you answer it. I hope you comment, get involved, like I said. And I'm excited, guys. I'm so excited, and I am thrilled that the Lord is supplying me with the way to do it. And so, and everyone that's helped me, everyone that's given me advice, or showed me what equipment to get, or helped me in the way of editing and stuff like this, thank you, because I'm starting out, and like I said, I'm not familiar with how you do these things. So, God bless every one of you. I do pray that your week is wonderfully blessed. Protection over each and every one of you. And I pray that you draw closer to the Lord each day, and your love for Him grows more and more as you realize how much He loves us. And just that you have been called. You have been called, and if you're breathing, you have a God-given purpose, and you can fulfill that. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much again for stopping by. And I cannot wait to talk to y'all next time. Have a great night.